Good evening and welcome to the 2025 Division II Men's Tennis Selection Show. I'm Will Haskett. Tonight we provide the map, the pathway for 48 teams to be called a national champion. As fans of this tournament know, tonight we will unveil the 8 regions, ranging from 4 all the way up to 8 teams. Those regions are split into 2 locations for opening round matchups, with each region then sending 2 teams, that's a total of 16 teams, to the NCAA Championship in Altamonte Springs, Florida, from May 20th to the 24th. As for the regional selections, 15 teams know that they are in, earning automatic qualification as conference champions, while the remaining 33 teams are in on merit as at-large selections. So let's set the matchups as we will begin today out west, our first of 8 regions to unveil, where the top seed and host is Azusa Pacific. Elias Walter headlines a deep Cougars lineup that makes the tournament for a 10th consecutive time. Ranked atop the region for much of this season, the Cougars looking to advance just as they did a season ago. And they will start against 4-seeded Hawaii Pacific, the 2016 national champions, back and ready for perhaps another deep run as the Sharks have some unfinished business to take care of after a Pac West postseason exit. West Region number 2, hosted by Concordia Irvine, the Golden Eagles, the hottest team in this region, winners of that Pac West championship over Azusa Pacific. They avoid them until maybe they see them down the line in Florida. It was a tight 4-3 win where Adam Large lived up to his last name, coming up huge in number 3 singles, rallying from a 1-6 loss in the second set of his match to win 6-1 in the clincher. And Point Loma rounds out the West, tied the program's best ever finish at the Pac West Championships by finishing 3rd. Alexander Leischner set a Pac West conference record for most career singles wins at that championship tournament, improving to 11-0 in the conference tournament. Leischner is the school's first ever 4-time All-Pac West singles honoree. He leads the team with 15 singles victories this season. Point Loma is making its 3rd straight NCAA West regional appearance, and they seek their first ever regional win. To the south next, 8 teams jammed into arguably the toughest region of them all. Case in point, your top seed Valdosta State. Perfect this season when it counts for the defending national champions, winning the 3rd straight league title and Gulf South Conference best 17th championship overall as a program. It marked the 2nd time in 3 years the Blazers have gone undefeated to this point of the season. They now have 36 straight match wins dating back to the final 16 matches of last year en route to what was the program's 3rd national title. Takeshi Tako and Barucic Skirkir are numbers 2 and 3 in singles nationally, respectively, while the Blazers have 2 doubles teams also in the top 10 nationally. And how about head coach John Hanson? He has coached the Blazers now for over 50 years, earning his 15th GSC Men's Coach of the Year honor this year. He'll also be inducted into the conference's Hall of Fame coming up this month. Valdosta State opens against Spring Hill. The SIAC champs lost just 1 point en route to the championship and a date with the top team in this region. St. Leo is your 4 seed. Vincent Teal anchors the lineup at number 1 singles for the Lions, who were national runner-ups in 2016 and are one of only a dozen or so programs in this loaded region that know they have a shot of winning it all if they can get hot at the right time. The Lions owning wins over 5 ranked opponents this season, something that will certainly come in handy throughout the course of the tournament. And in the opening matchup against Lee, the Flames head to the NCAA tournament for a first time after making the Gulf South Conference semifinals. Second half of the South, headlined by the host here, that belongs to West Florida. And if it weren't for Valdosta State on the top of the screen, we'd be talking about the Argos as the undisputed national championship threat, perhaps. The 4-time national champs last won it in 2017 and are undefeated this season with the exception of 2 matchups against their rivals at the top of the page. Miguel Cabrera, Sebastian Rondon are top 10 ranked singles players for the Argos, while Rondon's partnership with Diego Duran is second best in the country. All right, now perhaps a nervous wait for this region. We can ease the tension. Mississippi College is in. Time to make some new memories for the Choctaws, who earn an at-large for the program's first ever berth in the D2 tournament. A big part of the success is their top singles player on this roster. Alex Blanchard ranks top 5 in the nation and owns 6 wins this season against ranked opponents in singles, including a solid 8-2 record in his last 10 singles matches. Barry is a mainstay here. Hard to call the 7-time champs lurkers in this region, but that's what you have to do with how loaded this field is. All 7 of those national titles have come in the last 15 years, so even with better records in this region, the Bucks are never to be doubted. Florida Southern rounds it all out. Mario Garros broke the program record for wins in a single season earlier this year. Now with a 22-3 record, the Mocs made the Sunshine State Conference Championship final for the first time since all the way back in 2002, winning 17 matches in a single season as a team for the first time since 2008, winning the first conference tournament win since 2013 in a stacked conference as well. Congratulations to the Mocs back in the Division II championship bracket. All right, to the Southeast next, also an 8-team behemoth here with the top seed belonging to Flagler. Just 1 point away from the national championship a year ago. The Saints are hoping for a return trip to the final with some redemption on their mind this year. The Peach Belt champs for the second consecutive season. Flagler has won 9 straight entering regional play. Belmont Abbey is back again. The Conference Carolinas champs rallying for a 4-3 win in the championship to pay off the top seed from the regular season and return into this bracket in this region. Columbus State rarely misses a regional gathering. The 2018 national champions made the championship match in 4 of the last 6 playings of this tournament, so you can never count out this program. And they'll tussle with Lincoln Memorial, who rounds out this half of the Southeast. Welcome back to the tournament to the Rail Splitters, tournament bound for the first time since 2013, and they've won 4 of their last 6. What a season for Catawba, your 2 seed and the other Southeast host. They were down 3-1 in the SAC championship match, and they refused to go quietly, rallying in epic fashion to win the conference title for the first time since 2001. Freshman Thomas Koska was the conference freshman of the year, was undefeated in the final day of that championship. He rallied to win the last 2 sets of his number 2 singles match to clinch the match, clinch the automatic berth, and add a tournament MVP trophy to his postseason haul. The reward is a date with the storied tradition of Lander, which dances again. The 8-time national champs return for a 31st time this season, still the most decorated program in Division II history. Wingate boasts an impressive record and earns the 3 seed. The Bulldogs earn their 13th tournament berth and enter licking their wounds a bit after falling in a close conference tournament championship match that they led 3-1. That loss came to Catawba, and it was the second against their opponent this season. The only team that has bested Wingate so far in 2025, and it could be a rematch coming up if they can get past day 1, but that means they'd have to take out North Georgia. The Peach Belt runner-ups are back for an 11th time and nearly advanced out of this spot a season ago. All right, on to the South Central. Just 4 teams here. The top seed is Lubbock Christian, a thriller for the Chaps en route to winning the Lone Star Conference title. A 4-3 win pushes the program into its 3rd straight regional berth. The hero role came down to Andres de los Rios. He was on court 4. Down a set, he rallied 7-5, 6-4 to get the clinching point, and maybe perhaps the top seed here and hosting duties. It will be a conference semifinal rematch with UT Permian Basin, who fell 4-2 in that semifinal matchup just a few days ago, but also advanced out of this position a year ago, so we know what the Falcons are capable of in NCAA play. The other head-to-head for one of those final 16 spots starts with our host, UT Tyler. The Patriots earned the top seed in the Lone Star tournament after winning 18 straight matches to close out the regular season. But it was a nail-biting 4-3 loss in the semifinals that has this team refocused to get the job done in this region and beyond. And guess who beat them in that semifinal? Oh, you know it. It's the rematch right here. Midwestern State, 22nd appearance for the Mustangs, who may be playing their best tennis of the season. They got that semifinal upset and then almost took down Lubbock Christian in that Lone Star Conference Championship. So it's anybody's guess right now who's the best team in this region. Why not the Mustangs or any of the other 4 there on your screen? All right, plenty of drama in the Midwest to come up with the 8 most worthy teams here. The top seed belongs to Grand Valley State, a dominant run to the GLIAC for the Lakers, earning a 4-0 sweep in the championship. Victor Lopes earning a doubles win and the clinching singles point in the championship as well. The Lake Show didn't make it out of the regional a season ago, but certainly have the depth to not just make it to Florida, but make waves while they are there. Tiffin University's men's tennis team winning their 4th consecutive GMAC tournament championship. They were also the GMAC regular season champions. 18 wins, 2nd highest single season total in school history. Head coach Phil Conley, 12-time Coach of the Year honoree, 7 times for the women's program, 5 times for the men. Martin Dreisner was named the GMAC Player of the Year as well. Rockhurst played their way to the GLVC championship match, and that run good enough for an at-large berth and a spot in this bracket for the first time since 2017. To battle Drury on day number 1, the 2002 national runner-ups, mainstays in this region each and every season, looking to advance to the final site yet again. Yaroslav Shardy, 15-1 this season at number 1 singles, which is such a valuable anchor to have at the top of your lineup heading into the toughest competition of the year. UIndy is your GLVC champ and the second Midwest host here, a 4-0 sweep in the championship, giving the Greyhounds their third consecutive GLVC title and roll into the tournament as one of the hottest teams in the country. The conference crown included the team's 15th win in a row, a span that also includes wins over 6 ranked opponents in that time. The Greyhounds have made the national semifinals 3 times in program history. And now, time to blow some minds and hand out an at-large berth for the first time to Purdue Northwest. The last note on the last story of the team's last match played said, quote, "This concludes the men's tennis season." Fellas, you've got some more tennis to play. Purdue Northwest in as the 7 seed here in the Midwest. Wayne State wasn't sweating the show today. The Warriors, under the leadership of 17th-year head coach Brian Morrow, qualifying for the NCAA tournament for the 9th time in his tenure. The national runner-ups in 2022 and quarterfinalists in both 2023 and last year. Wayne State led by senior Cedric Drenth, the lone player on the squad with more than 2 years of experience. He earned his second GLIAC Player of the Year award last month, and earlier this season, Drenth broke the school record for career singles wins. He also holds the career doubles wins record as well. Ferris State rounds out this 8, make it 10 consecutive NCAA berths and 28 total for the Bulldogs, which featured Kevin Kovacs and Alessandro Santangelo, who both garnered all GLIAC first-team recognition in singles play this year. All right, we head to the East. Our top seed is waiting for a day 1 showdown that starts with Adelphi. Not even rain could keep the Panthers from capturing the NE10 championship, fittingly getting the clinching point from 3-time Conference Player of the Year Marko Jovanovic on court number 1. Not only was he the best player on the court, he was also the best student in the entire tournament. He earned the Elite 24 award for the highest GPA as well, and he will need to use all of his tools against District of Columbia, first back-to-back tournament trips since the 2012 and 2013 seasons. The host and top seed is Queens of New York, the Queens College men's tennis team dancing for the 23rd straight year in program history. The Knights, led by head coach Samadi Drucker, enter the tournament with an impressive 14-2 record in Division II play this season. Knights coming off a successful title defense in conference, a 4-1 victory in that one. It all came down to Alexis Martin Gibillard clinching the victory, 2-set victory over on the number 4 court. The number 1 seed for the 3rd straight year in this region, looking for their 2nd straight appearance in the round of 16 and 8th overall in program history. It's a 2-team battle in the other section of this 5-team region. St. Thomas Aquinas is the higher seed. The Spartans return to the regional round after missing out on hearing their name a season ago. The team had won 6 of 7 in the month of April until a loss to Queens in that ECC final, but they'll avoid them at least until they would get to Florida. They will travel to Jefferson, the Rams, making the NCAA tournament for a 4th consecutive year. They won the CACC championship for 4 years in a row in a best-of-3 series. They look to make the round of 16 for the 3rd straight year. 2 regions to go as we head to the Central. Just 4 teams here. Washburn, the top seed and host the Ichabods, earning a three-peat in the MIA GAC tournament, and it was a dramatic match to get it all done. Tim Hammes, ranked top 5 in the nation in singles, dueled his fellow German Phil Exner, more on him in a second, the top-ranked player in the country, in a thrilling 3-setter. He ended up getting the best of him, and that was the clinching point for the Washburn win and maybe the nudge to the top seed here. Southern Arkansas snags the final spot. Keep playing Mule Riders, who advanced out of the region last year, but wondered if a semifinal exit in the conference tournament this year would keep them out of the field altogether. It does not. They are in as the final seed in the Central. Washita Baptist is the other host, featuring that top-ranked singles player in the country who we just mentioned. Phil Exner has won 8 straight matches until this past weekend and now looks to start his new streak alongside his teammates, most importantly on the team side in this tournament. And Harding rounds it all out, 13th tournament berth for a team with several all-MIAA performers on the roster. Senior Costa Reuter earning 2nd team all-conference singles honors. The Reuter also teamed with junior Adrian Solorzano, who's first team as a doubles duo. And we close the show with the Atlantic region. 7 teams here. The 4-5 matchup features West Virginia Wesleyan, which had 3 players on the Bobcat roster earning all-conference honors this season, including first-team All-MEC performer Mika Kreisel, battling Davis and Elkins. Congratulations to the Senators. Body of work strong enough for an at-large berth as the program makes its NCAA tournament debut. The top seed and host is Charleston. National quarterfinalists a season ago, the Golden Eagles continue to headline the Atlantic region this year, winning 10 straight entering this NCAA tournament, including another run to a Mountain East championship. The team also swept the postseason honors. Jorge Perez named the conference's Player of the Year. Edinboro is the other host. The Fighting Scots are tournament bound again after capturing their 5th straight PSAC title. Rains moved the matches inside, back outside, inside again over a very trying weekend, but the patience and depth for Edinboro withstood the storm to earn the automatic berth. The final spot in this region was perhaps up for grabs, so it is my pleasure to say, hello Huskies. Bloomsburg is back in, first time since 2012. They were runners-up to Edinboro. They get the immediate rematch with the team they just faced in that conference championship. Fairmont State, the 3 seed, solid run to the Mountain East Conference Championship match as well, solidifying a spot in the regional rankings to get the program back in the NCAA tournament for a 4th consecutive season, where they will start with Shaw, who rounds out the field. 3rd straight NCAA berth for that program, which brings our field to completion. All right, there you have it, all 48 teams in our 8 regions set to battle it out for a national championship. First serves are later this week, with the 16 advancing teams then heading to Florida later this month to compete in a single elimination tournament to the title. Nothing is guaranteed, with the exception of always thrilling action like we see each and every year in this championship. Be sure to follow along with the results and the championship action right here on NCAA.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Will Haskett. Congratulations and best of luck to all the student athletes competing in this year's championship.
I teach the art of fanology, a job I take seriously. As to the question of nature versus nurture, is a fan born or is a fan made? I know this. Our game can make a fan out of anyone. And at Fandom U, we take it to a whole new level. The NCAA Championships. Attendance is encouraged, passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.